Okay, everybody, we should be on. Okay. Folks, I am beginning a live stream, so if you're seeing this, let me just come on here for a second. Hi, everybody. This is Ella. If you've never met Ella, here's Ella, my cat. She was getting curious as to why I'm on the computer this time of day, which is not something I usually do at 6:25 in the evening anymore. We're gonna play some baseball games from the Time Travel League, just as a test. And I have been using AI to refigure out how to uh, do these games live. Google Gemini AI is not too bad. That I can tell you. So let me just go over here, stream. First, I don't even know if I'm on. YouTube Studio. Just bear with me, folks, for a little bit as I just check a couple of things out. I put my little pizza box over on the window and it's working gangbusters. So now, studio. I'm looking at myself here, folks. See if this detaches. It does. Okay, I remember that. Okay, so we should be good to go here. So anybody seeing me on the chat, say hello. And we're not going to do, commentary like I normally do when I'm doing these games live to tape. But if you want to check in, check in. It sounds like that Cat Stevens song. If you want to check in, check in. So we're going to play some games during the week. The presentations I do with the Time Travel League are like Saturday games of the week. So we're going to do some games that aren't on Saturday. So I'm going to look at the pitching matchups here. 683 Explorers Pioneers. That's the game I should have done last Saturday. The game that I just did on Tuesday, yesterday, when all my troubles seemed so far away. So Osteen and Morris might be the game. That's 683. Pfeffer and Simmons is 799. Yeah, we'll do Explorers Pioneers and play that out for you. Claude Osteen against somebody named Morris. And it is the polo grounds that we will be playing at. So just bear with me, folks. We'll give our David, our play-by-play voice, a little more to do. Getting recaps, base and manager field decisions. Play. Oh, I don't know if I set the computers up. I'm going to play as the home team, the Pioneers. So, yeah, it's Gonzalez. Which Weinerger is going to be the catcher? Okay. Manny Ramirez is going to DH for the Explorers. Let's get this started, shall we?
Pitching for Pioneers, Ed Morris.
Okay, first let me just double check and see if I am the home team. I am. Okay. So we're just going to let the game play out. It'll do a little more recapping. Ken Boyer leading off against Ed Morris. Not doing too shabby with that 400 ERA. And Boyer aboard with a walk on a 74-degree night. Winds calm. Boyer was not a base stealer. Mazeroski was not a great bunter, so we're just going to play it normal. Okay, Delahanty made the out at first, moving Boyer to second. So we're just going to chill out while we do this. I will call up the pop-up chat. Live streams are back. Yes. How am I coming in, Suede? How am I coming in? I put the T-Mobile pizza box at a new place right by a window out here, not too far from a busy road, and it's coming in like gangbusters. My upload of that basketball game I did this afternoon was like 20 minutes when it would normally take like 2 hours. So here's Frank Robinson. Strike three. 2 outs now for Say Hey Willie Mays. 65th game for both teams. And
No
the
runs,
Explorers go
no
meekly.
hits, no errors. Explorers 0. Pioneers coming to bat. Pitching for Explorers, Claude, Austin.
Now Duffy's a good bunter. He's only hitting 282. So maybe I could take advantage of the fact that the corners are playing in, try to Butcher Boy one. But nope, that's a single for Duffy. Now he's a good base stealer. He's got 22 thefts. Howard's not that great a catcher. I'm going to go right now. And he's in there, stolen base. Now, not too great odds to steal third. Count 1-0, we'll take a pitch. See if that improves. Up to 48%. That's still not the best thing to be running on. So Delahanty's 291. Loves the lefties. There's a base hit. There's the first run. No, it's out. You saw it there. That's an out at home plate. So we're just going to be going at a leisurely pace and play maybe 2 or 3 games tonight from different dates. And I can talk you through my process a little bit. Pie Trainer is hitting 211, but he is still the number 3 hitter. I would love the Action PC Baseball to have like dynamic lineups to where, you know, you don't have a guy hitting 211 in your lineup if you got somebody else that's hitting better. So the runner in second. And that's an out. Shetfield, last chance for Pioneers. Obviously, he's a traveler because he played in the 90s. Hitting 279, 12 homers. He smoked it, but to dead center. And Willie Mays is going to make that play.
Hits, no errors. Explorers 0. Pioneers 0.
So we'll check the chats between innings. Loud and clear. Excellent. Excellent. I thought with the upload speed improving that it would be easier to do live streams, and we just might make that a fixture. Now that we know that they work, and that's a load off my mind. So Manram coming up 246. Explorers batting in the second. And that is a base hit for Manny, being Manny at first base. Brings up Willie McCovey. That's a double play ball. No, it's a base hit. Runners at first and second for Roberto Clemente. The killer arm in right field. So you got 2 lefties in this game. I didn't realize that. And they got the out at second to put runners at the corners with 1 out for Machado. Good point for a squeeze play here, but I don't have a great bunter in Machado, so we're just going to go for it. If I was controlling the Explorers, and I am not, let's just keep that in mind. Pitch out. Nothing doing. That holds Clemente in check. Going to play the infield halfway. Get the runner at home if you can. But the double play is going to keep the Explorers off the board.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors, Explorers 0, Pioneers 0.
Gonzalez hitting .225. When I started doing these games, they had a different photo. I guess there's another Luis Gonzalez out there. That's a walk. Gonzalez is on at first. So we're fully functional again, folks. Or should be. So Gonzalez is a traveler. So is Christian Yelich. More like a futurist than a pioneer, but that's why we have travelers on these teams. Make things more interesting. And Yelich is at 276. See if he can get a hold of one here. Mazeroski to Machado. Oh, he's injured. So Jim Fergosi's going to come in and play short. So Yelich is at first. So my decision making on stolen bases and so forth is that my threshold is 60%. If I got a 60-40 odds of getting the runner over, then I try it. Also depends on some other situations. Here is Miguel Tejada, another traveler, another base hit. So runners at first and second now for Kyle. Another traveler, Baerga. Got a lot of travelers on this Pioneer squad making an impact. 35 and 29. Explorers are 36-28. The Explorers are basically a 60s team, and the Pioneers, believe it or not, they were the 19th century team. But they have a lot of travelers playing because those guys have power, and otherwise the Pioneers would be a Punch and Judy lot. Butch Weiniger, 11 of 33. Hasn't played too often. I guess a catcher got hurt for the Pioneers. Boyer to Mazeroski,
No
side
runs,
retired.
1 hit, no errors, Explorers 0, Pioneers 0.
I heard you say, says Suede Mustache, that you didn't get OOTP 27. Why is that? Okay, well, let me talk about that as Elston Howard leads off. A couple of things changed. I think OOTP is basically 90% the same game every year. And I really started to like Stratomatic in the last 2 or 3 years away from when I stopped doing streams for about a 3-year period because I was homeless and so forth. I really liked the Stratomatic game that I had bought like 4 years ago, but I hadn't updated that in 4 years. But Stratomatic #1 is a lot of money, and Action PC Baseball, I think, is the better game right now. In terms of kind of now, OOTP has so many what if possibilities. But Action PC has that too. As Boyer, we're going to have Boyer step up here. Pitcher to the first baseman. Bill Mazeroski is up. I just like Action PC better these days, but, you know, as Al Red Sox fan says all the time, be free to like what you like. And in order for the community to grow, I think we just can't be too picky in terms of the games we like. We should all like our own, what floats our own boats. So Mazeroski's 0 for 1. It's a good question. It's a good question, Suede. Oh, error by Delahanty. First of the game. You think the Pioneers would make a lot of errors because they're basically 19th century players with a lot of power guys from later decades on the team. So Frank Robinson's up 0 for 1 and a K. Ball 4. Runners at first and second. Willie Mays, 0 for 1. So the bases are full of Explorers now in the top of the third. Plus, I love the aspect of, OOTP, you could do a league like this too, but I love to see how the best players do against the best, and that's what really keeps me interested in doing games. Doing a season is one thing, but doing these best against the best competitions, that's what really keeps me going. And they tried to get Mays and they couldn't. 2 outs, so the Explorers got to get a hit here and get some runs, and they do not. So it's no score after
runs,
2.5.
No hits, 1 error, Explorers 0, Pioneers 0.
So Duffy's back up, top of the order for the Pioneers in the third, and they keep bringing their corners in. I'm just going to keep hitting normal. Duffy was a guy who, when he played in his time, could hit 400 frequently. So Boyer made the error there as the ball came quicker to him, and he went all Little League on it. 81%. I'm going to just try to steal it right away. In there again. 24 stolen bases and 2 today for Duffy. Delahanty. Oh, great play there by Jim Fergosi, who came in for an injured Mario Machado. So now Duffy is at third. Now here's where normally I would want to have a runner at first to do this, but we're going to try to squeeze in Duffy. Suicide squeeze. And it worked. It forced a throwing error by Osteen. And it's 1-0. So I'll keep checking the chat between innings. But I'm very pleased that this is going to work. Should we try a steal a second by Trainer? No, it didn't go. Okay, well, went to the well one too many times. Sheffield. I don't know how many of you have heard of a website called Replit. That's out there. Sheffield strikes out.
No hits, 2 errors, Pioneers 1, Explorers 0.
The things AI are doing right now are amazing. I was messing around last night with Replit, and I nearly got a 7-card stud poker game made. Oh, Luke! Okay. I'm sorry, Luke. I didn't realize it was you. Welcome aboard, pal. How's Kansas City treating you? Are you still in Kansas City? Let's see here. McCovey is leading off, top of the fourth. Delahanty. Another error, so we've had 4 errors so far. So here's Clemente. Base hit. Pioneers got that run in the third. That's been it. It's a closed game engine, the Action PC games are, but they're still good. So Fergosi's kind of light hitting. He's only hitting 181. Do I want to bunt? Well, I can't bunt because I'm not controlling that team. But I would be looking for a bunt. No. 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs for Elston. Delahanty. Oh, another error. That's 3 for him today, and that forces in a run. Might have to give him the hook here as the game gets a little later. Ball 4. So this is probably giving Delahanty the death scare, like, you keeping me out here, kid. Mazeroski. going to be caught by Gary Shetfield, I think. Yep, Gary Shetfield from Tampa.
Hit, 2 errors. Explorers 1. Pioneers 1.
So Gonzalez back up, 225. But as I was saying about OOTP, you could do this kind of league in OOTP. But I love watching the best play the best, and you see some guys underperform, and you see some guys overperform, and it's just way more random. Like Claude Osteen, his whip is 1251, and in real life, the stat should have him at 1254. See what Yelich does. So I got a runner at first with 1 out. Tejada up. Let's try to steal a base. In there. You'd think with that 5 arm that we would be able to make some moves around the bases. Mazeroski. Well, he earns his 10 rating with that range of his. Baerga's the last chance in the 4th. And he did it. Ribby for Baerga. 2-1. Butch Weiniger, 0 for 1. That's a base hit. Back to Hugh. Not playing the corners this time because it's a 2-out situation, and
1 run, 3 hits,
that's it.
No errors. Pioneers 2. Explorers 1.
So we've had 12 runs already. Oh, okay, Luke. Yeah. The one thing that really turned me sour about OOTP was when their spokesman was on digital to dice. Robinson with that base hit, and I thought the guy was doing the podcast for OOTP at the same time, and I thought he was kind of dismissive of Dave Gardner and Ron Chuckett. That was just my take, rightly or wrongly. So we'll see what happens with Mays. There's an out. Another good podcast right now that's covering the games we do. This thing of ours, as I like to call it sometimes, is that Tabletop Sportscast, James Cast. That's another good podcast. And that's one of those podcasts I wish I would listen more to. So back to Ramirez.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Pioneers 2. Explorers 1.
So we might do this for our basketball project too. Bottom of the 5th now, Ed Delahanty with those 3 errors. There's a K. I might pull him when we get up to the field in the 6th. Pie Trainer. That's Osteen to McCovey. Shetfield. And
no runs.
Fergosi
no
made
hits,
the play.
No errors. Pioneers 2. Explorers 1.
Okay. Guys, if you're watching the chat, feel free to chime in, because I'll keep pulling it up. I haven't done a live stream since 2022, I don't think. McCovey is 1 for 2. I'm doing it a little early. It's 6:49 here as I record this. We're seeing it live. I don't know how much of a delay this is on. See what McCovey does. Oh, I was going to put Delahanty in. We'll go another inning with him, unless he makes another error. So McCovey's at first. Clemente, 1 for 2. Did you get the runner at first? McCovey moved to second. Now, let's see. Fergosi is 179. I'm going to pitch aggressive to him. Oh, did you see that? It deflected off of Morris, went to Baerga, threw to Delahanty for the out. Okay. See if we can get Elston Howard. And we do. Okay,
No
side
runs,
retired.
1 hit, no errors, Pioneers 2, Explorers 1.
So back to Luis, 1 for 1. But before we go with that, let's see if we can get somebody else on there. A right-handed DH. A guy who could DH the rest of the way, because I don't want his 220-something average stinking up the rest of the game. We'll put Glaus in to pinch hit.
Pinch hitting for Pioneers, Troy, loss.
Okay. Only had 13 at bats. He's not doing too better at 231, but he's got the best odds. Hit well to left. Robinson's going to make the play. Go to Yelich. It's a base hit to right. 60%. He's right on the cusp. So let me just take a pitch here. And he's back down to 51. Okay. Tejada's a good hit and run player here, so let's do that. Base hit. That's going to move Yelich over to third. 8 hits, but only 2 runs to show for it for the Pioneers. Baerga is 1 for 2. Osteen to McCovey for that second out. And we got Butch Weiniger. Best hitter we got, but he's only had 35 at bats. That's a base hit. 4-1 game coming up. Good going there, Butch. We'll go to Hugh Duffy. Rossi to Mazeroski.
3 hits, no errors, Pioneers 4, Explorers 1.
Let me just go up here. Yeah, you can't be dissing Uncle wrong. I feel the same way. Perfect team is no fun because, yeah, you have to pay to win. But it just seems on the whole that gaming is trying to find ways for you to pay to play. Like, I like Grand Theft Auto 5, but you can't really do anything unless you buy into the game and get more cash. Lately, I've been playing American Truck Simulator. His Boyer's at bat. And you gotta download all the states to get the game to work flawlessly. And that's a pretty penny, but I've been doing it here and there. Mazeroski's 255. Morris to Delahanty. 2 outs now. Frank Robertson's 0 for 2. Now he's 0 for 3.
Knocking across in the top of the 7th, Pioneers 4, Explorers 1.
I think that's the first 1-2-3 inning we've had in the game. Delahanty is hitting 292. And I kept him in again. Well, we got to fix that in the 8th for sure. Another out. Here's Trainer. And here's Sheffield. Mazeroski to McCovey. Okay.
Knocking across in the bottom of the 7th, Pioneers 4, Explorers 1.
But we don't have too many good options at first base. We could put a 5 in, Guy Hecker or Pete Browning, but their error rating is atrocious. We'll just keep Delahanty going. Maybe look and see if we can get a better first baseman. Here's Willie. Morris, Delahanty. Well, Morris has pitched well. 7 1/3. 1 run, 4 hits, 4 walks, 3 Ks. And here is Manny being Manny. And another error, but this was on Trainer. I remember Manny when his brief time with the Tampa Bay Rays, and he got caught with some girly cream that he was applying to himself, kind of thinking that that cream would make him a better hitter. I think that's how his demise went. I'm just going off of rote memory, folks. Willie McCovey, 2 for 3. Duffy with the put out. I also read a lot of the Jamie Marshall, his Substack posts, and Daniel Evenson with the Baseball Replay Journal. That is pretty good. So back to Bobby Clemente, as Bob Prince used to call him.
No runs, no hits, 1 error. Pioneers 4, Explorers 1.
So we'll do 2 more games after this, as I want to get through 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow, and I just might as well just live stream them. And we will get to our Saturday game of the week. If my schedule holds, we'll probably get to that Friday. We might do it live. We might, do a Bill O'Reilly and do it live. Troy Glaus is 0 for 1. Look at all that space they have at the Polo Grounds. I was looking at footage from 1974. YouTube brought it to my attention of a game between the Angels and White Sox. We'll have Yelich's at bat. Osteen, McCovey, 2 outs. And it was back when the White Sox had the AstroTurf infield and the grass outfield. Tejada lines out to Mazeroski.
No runs, no hits.
So we're almost
no
done with this game, but just
Pioneers
stick
4,
around. We'll
Explorers
chat
1.
between games. And I'll look at chat again after this game. Hello to anybody who had just joined. Doing a live stream, just testing live stream capability. Now that I have my pizza box from T-Mobile in another part of my camper. I'm kind of like Jim Rockford these days. I live at a campground. And I don't live in the Tampa Bay area anymore. I live closer to Orlando. I live in Lake County. So Vergosi's 0 for 2. And that goes to Delahanty. I should have taken him out, but we went through that in the 8th inning. There wasn't anybody better, so we just might as well stick with him. Elston's 0 for 3. Tejada, 2 outs. Another area of the game that I think kind of lacks is you got all these players. Into the Time Travel League, you got 40-man active rosters, because I figure with the Action PC games, the more players you have to choose from, the better choices it makes. Like if I had an all-time Boston Red Sox team, sometimes if I just had 25-man rosters, it wouldn't pick Ted Williams. And that's the final out. Pioneers win.
The final score from Polo Grounds, Pioneers 4, Explorers 1. Ed Morris is the winner. He is now 6-8 on the season. Claude Osteen is the loser. He is now 8-3. Time of the game, 2 hours, 29 minutes.
The MVP was Ed Morris. Okay, so that game is played. Let me just play the remaining games for today. And we'll get to Monday's games. Okay, so that 4-1 Pioneer win will populate. We'll go to highlights here. Talk about anything that happened, and then we'll chat for a little bit and do the next game. It's easy and relaxed doing things this way with the live stream because it's kind of like being at a sports bar. The way we do it with the live streams. So there was a doozy of a game between the Aces and the Wings, 12-10. Wings are the 50s team, Aces are the teens team. See if any what people did in that game. It's 4-3 after 4.5, and 6-4, then 12-4, and then the Wings made a comeback. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Show me the box again. So Peffer got knocked out, and Simmons got knocked out, and Cobb was the MVP. So I'm just going to leave this up. I'm going to look at the matchups, the pitching matchups, and we'll just do the best pitching matchup. Okay, Marshall and Kiefer a combined 805. Alexander and Jenkins would be 792. So we'll do that next. But let me just come on, talk to you all for a little bit. I got a light on. I don't need it yet. It's only a minute past 7. Good talking to you, BP. Good to see you back. Got to eat dinner. Yeah. Well, you're an hour behind me. It's 6 o'clock your time. So we'll just hang around for a little bit and do our next game. Let me switch OBS back to there. Good. My late mother used to say, good and see. So we had Amos Ruzzi, who plays for the Futurists as a traveler. He had 10 Ks. Mark McGuire hit 2 home runs for the Niners, who have moved out of the cellar. The 1990s players for the most part. It's now the Spirits that are in last place at 25 and 40. So we will play the Aces and the Wings from Old Yankee Stadium. Computer lineup. I always got to pick Eddie Matthews and put him in the lineup. And I put Mantle fifth, Aaron sixth. Okay, would I put? Yeah, I would put Barrett in front of Banks, and Hodges would be the 9-hole hitter. Mutual's probably the closest thing to a defensive liability in left. Molitor's the DH. You got some travelers on the lineup for the Aces, too. So they have Grover, Alexander. Okay, Aces are 2. No, we're not going to continue with them over the limit. I have the computer GM make all of the roster decisions because I have 45 for each team and 40 play. Okay, we'll just do that. Joe Jackson's going to hit second, and every time I see some team over 40, I just set them back to a 40-man roster. That's how we do it.
Pitching for Wings, Fergie, Jenkins.
Just going to double check, make sure I am on the right feed. OBS now has something that you can control the feeds, scenes from your phone. Like I have a Samsung Galaxy, and you could just go through the display feeds. The problem is when I have that around my equipment here, it sometimes creates a helicopter sound like So I don't use it too frequently, and I don't use it unless I really have to. So let's get this game started. Fergie has pitched well, not too far off of his whip. And there goes Molly. Off the wall, he's got a double. There is a home run animation. You will really see the ball fly. So Shoeless Joe back in the fold. See how he does. And the bunt is going to get him, but that's going to move Molly to third for Sam Crawford. First inning, I'm not going to walk Crawford. I'm just going to play it out. If we give up the run, we give up the run. Base hit just by Banks. Probably went over his head. Because I don't want to face this guy, Palmero. Oh, he socked it. Out of here. Number 9 for Rafael. 3-0. Sherry McGee, who's been leading in home runs. Oh, misplay by Hank. His 5th error. Not a good start for the Wings in this top of the first. There's a K for Fergie. He's had a busy stat sheet in this first inning. And Cano. Beltre. Hodges. 3 outs.
Runs, 4 hits, 1 error, aces 3, Wings coming to bat. Pitching for aces, Grover, Alexander.
And Grover at 355. 8-4. Fox has been playing well. Good hitter. There's the first out. Beltre up. Traveler. And McGee will get to that. Stan Musial, 309, was the RBI leader for most of the season until Joe DiMaggio caught him.
No runs, no hits, no errors, aces 3, Wings 0.
Okay, back to the game. Top of the second for Jorge. Hitting 248, but he's not there for his hitting abilities. That's a foul ball. Just say it, ump. There you go. 2-2 the count. And a K for Posada. Bringing up Art Fletcher. I think Fletcher was a New York Giant. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Good ball. So Fletcher aboard with an HBP. He can run back to the top of the order in Molitor. There you go. He's in there. Fletcher testing the arm of Yogi Berra successfully. Here's Paul Molitor again. That's a base hit. That's another run. 4-0. Another run, and I got to think about pulling Fergie. Another walk. That's actually the first walk of Jenkins pitching. Sam Crawford. Fox got second, got the out at first. Well, actually, no, it was just 1 out there. 2 outs total now. Rafael Palmero. Who I got to pitch to because McGee is a 302 hitter. There's a K.
1 hit, no errors, aces 4, Wings 0.
75-degree night at Old Yankee Stadium. Wind in from left center field at 8 miles per hour. Eddie Matthews was the home run leader for a large chunk of the season, but if the computer had its way, he wouldn't even be in the lineup. First out for Mickey Mantle. There's a K. Hank Aaron's been playing well. 333. He's been close to the batting average lead. Frank Thomas of the Niners has been there and done that. And rolling.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Aces 4, wings 0.
So it's 4-0. Okay, folks, I'll check the chat between innings as I did in the first game. Here's Sherry. Hit to right. Aaron makes the play in the corner at the warning track to bring up Scott Rowland. And Banks makes that play. Robinson Cano.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Aces 4, wings 0.
So Yogi Berra hitting 7th. Base hit to right. That's going to be the first hit for the Wings. Ernie Banks, 209 hitter. Usually gets pulled for pinch hitters late in the game. As Gil Hodges also. Okay, and it's 2-2. Fletcher to Cano. No throw at first. Hodges is hitting 208. Of course, Gil Hodges is probably better known as the manager of the 69 Mets. Took them to the world title. Banks is in there with a stolen base. I did not call that. I set the computer to make offensive calls and base stealing decisions from time to time because I will forget. Okay, back to Hodges. And that's 2 down. See if Nellie Fox can do something. And the answer to that is no.
1 hit, no errors. Aces 4, wings 0.
So if you're just tuning in, this is a live stream test. It apparently is going well, according to my buddy Luke Brown in Kansas City. Back over to Jorge Posada, who is 0 for 1. Foul ball. Jenkins is at 53 pitches, can go 140. Fox to Hodges for the second out. And back to the top of the order.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Aces 4, wings 0.
Okay. Wings got to get something going here. Alexander's just knocking them in the dirt. And can Roland get to that? Yes, he can. 1 out. Great play by the third base stands. Musial with it, and that's going to be caught by Joe. Shoeless Joe with 2 outs. Back to Eddie Matthews. Palmero to Alexander covering.
No errors. Aces 4, wings 0.
So back to Shoeless Joe. Okay. So Jackson back up. Show you his at-bats. That's hit well. Mal's going to get to it. First out. Might see those little things in center field. Those are monuments. And in Old Yankee Stadium, the monuments were in play. So a ball could rattle around in that corner, and if it did, it might lead to an extra base here or there. Oh. Usual going back at the track and is going to make the play. Great play. 2 outs. for Palmeiro. And he might have another home run, and he does. That's 2 for the day. And that's going to be the end of the day for Fergie. See who I could put in there. Put Pierce in as a lefty. That wouldn't be a bad move. Pretty solid against righties, too. Let's see here. Yeah, I want to save Wilhelm in case we need him later. So Billy Pierce is going to come in.
Pitching for Wings, Billy Pierce.
If I remember correctly from some other projects I have done, never completed, Billy Pierce was also a good hitting pitcher. And in this league, we use the DH. That's the only real non-traditional rule that I use. Banks to Hodges, side retired. Maybe when I do this next season,
Aces 5, Wings 0.
Have the pitchers hit. But the Wings are getting their butts kicked in this game so far. Bottom of the 5th. Hank Aaron. Caught by Crawford. When I was a kid, back growing up in Florida in the mid-70s and later, like say 75, 76 or so, they used to have a commercial of Hank Aaron where they show highlights of him hitting the 715th home run, the eclipse Babe Ruth. And back then, before the Marlins and the Devil Rays, which would later become the Rays, we were Braves country, although the Braves did not get a big following here in Tampa. Roland to Cano.
No run.
Of course, now they're back
No
spring training in
no
Venice.
Aces 5, Wings 0.
And I remember back at the 60s, they used to spring train in Sarasota. So 5-0. Well, again, check El Chato. Put a heart in there. Ella, if you want to come up, go ahead, honey. I'm not stopping you. Ella is my cat, who is now 6 years of age. And I think she wants to come up and sit on my desk and find out what's happening. The old Bobby Bear song that was in Better Call Saul. Oh, slow grounder. Banks to Hodges. Out. Just don't hit any buttons, honey. That's all I ask. Let me move the keyboard over. Cano is 0 for 2. Don't block my sight lines, Ella. That's hit to left, but Bushel should get to that. 2 outs. Jorge Posada. Banks, Hodges, side retired.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Aces 5, Wings 0.
Okay. So Hodges is back up. He's 0 for 1. I got other first baseman, right? I got Mark Teixeira, if I remember correctly. Let's do it. Let's put somebody in the pinch hit for Hodges. Alexander doesn't like lefties. And we're going to go with Larry Doby.
Pinch hitting for Wings, Larry.
I could always move Musial to first base and put somebody else in left field. Doby strikes out. Nelly Fox. Up the middle. Cano to Palmeiro. Out number 2. Here is Beltre. Ella is leaving her scent on the TV. Kissing Ella because she wants to go behind the TV and mess with everything, which I can't afford to have her do. Beltre. Base hit up the middle.
No
No,
runs,
that's an out.
no hits,
That's an out.
no
I'm
errors,
sorry.
aces 5, wings 0.
So Fletcher's up again, 0 for 1. Missing a first baseman. You're right. Do I have a first baseman? Well, I could use Musial and I could use Banks. We'll use Banks. Move him over to first. And put Rafael Furcal in at shortstop. Another traveler. Fletcher up 0 for 1. Furcal to Banks. Shortstop to shortstop for that first out. Paul Molitor, 245. Oh, stretch Rafael. Got the out. Top of the 7th, 2 outs for Joe Jackson, Shoeless Joe of the 1919 Chicago White Sox. Better known as the Black
No
Sox.
runs,
He flies
no
to
hits,
center.
no errors, aces 5, wings 0.
Musial up 306, 0 for 2 today. Wings getting goosed by Grover Alexander. Was once played by Ronald Reagan. You ever hear that Terry Cashford song, Talking Baseball? Talk about the great Alexander pitching again in Washington. It's skied up there by Matthews. Jackson's going to get to it. 2 outs. Mantle. Base hit. 2 base hits in this inning for the Wings. That's more than they had coming in. Come on, Hank. Make it an interesting game.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, aces 5, wings 0.
Okay. The chat is still dormant. And I don't mind. I haven't done a live stream in 4 years. I don't expect the doors to come knocking down for me and on this at all. So Crawford is 1 for 3 in the 8th inning. Pierce can go 80 pitches and he's only at 31. He might go the rest of the game. Palmeiro, can he hit 3 home runs today? Well, he gets on with a walk. Sherry McGee is 299 now. He was up over that 300 mark, but as the season wears on, the pitching catches up to you. Force at second. I was going to put McGee at first for Scott Rowland, Hall of Famer. Sky to center, but Mickey Mantle's going to make that play.
No runs,
Okay.
no hits, no errors, aces 5, wings 0.
I got to leave Banks in at first base because I don't have a first baseman that could really replace him. Kind of landlocked into that role. So we got to go with Banks. The game not too long ago where Banks hit 2 home runs. And speaking of home runs, there's one. 1 swing game now, 5-1. Nice one, Ernie. Here's Rafi. That's a K. Alexander has had 5 in this game. Righties are only 198 against him. Nelly Fox. Sky to left. McGee will get to that, I'm sure. And he does.
1 hit, no errors, aces 5, wing tippers 1.
Yeah, that's my little nickname for the Wings. I call them the wing tippers. Wings. Like wing-tip shoes of the 50s. Because it's basically a 50s team. Cano is 0 for 3. Now he's going to be 0 for 4. Charge in there, Stan. There you go. We'll do one more game. And then we will call it a night on this live stream test. Asada is 0 for 3. Now, Ella is blocking my pizza box a little bit, which I do not like. Hopefully it is not affecting the stream any. I don't want that G5 going through her, or 5G. Posada to Mantle. I'm going to take my headset off for a moment. Stand by, folks. Ella! Ella, get down from there, please. Down, down, down. Ella's looking at me like, what are you saying? I'll go over there in a moment. Fix that up. We're almost done here. Base hit for Fletcher, and Mantle bobbled it. Only his second error of the season. That's interesting. And Molitor could make it a two-swing game, and he does. Fletcher safe at home, 6-1. Joe Jackson 0 for 2. That's a slow ground ball. Jackson is safe. Crawford. Side retired finally.
1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, aces 6, wings 1.
Now Ella has sat herself on my coffee maker, which I'm not using for a couple of days. Beltre is 0 for 3, Adrian Beltre. There's a base hit. But the Wings now got to make hay while the sun shines. Can't afford to do base stealing here. Get Stan going here. That's well hit. I think that's going to go off the wall. 6-2. 8 doubles for Stan. Alexander still got 39 pitches before he reaches should be his fatigue level. Now Eddie Matthews could make this interesting. Grounder, base hit to right. Going all the way to the wall. It's going to be 6-3. Matthews got a triple. So now the Mick is up. He walks. Hank Aaron's the tying run. So this was 6-1 a minute ago. Now it's 6-3. And if Aaron gets a hold of one, we're tied. Posada to the mound. Talk this over. Oh, it popped up. Fletcher will get to it. First out. Yogi Berra. But the same metric is applying here. If Berra gets a hold of one, we're tied. Walk. Now, if Ernie Banks gets a hold of one, which he did earlier in the game, the Wings pull off a colossal comeback here. He have 500 home runs plus, so he can do it. There's a strikeout. Well, it's all down to Furcal. I'm going to pull Furcal for a pinch hitter. My best guy in terms of run percentage is Minnie Minoso. So let's get him in. Of course, Minoso played in his 50s at 1980. So there's still that chance. I'd settle for a triple in the gap. And that's the game. 6-3. Well, we had some interesting moments at the end, at least.
The final score from Yankee Stadium, Aces 6, Wings 3, Grover Alexander is the winner. He is now 9-4. Fergie Jenkins picks up the loss. He is now 9-4 on the season. Rafael Palmeiro hit 2 home runs. He now has 10 on the season. Ernie Banks hit number 12. Time of the game, 2 hours, 56 minutes.
Okay. So game number 2 is in the can. We'll do one more. Actually, this wouldn't be a bad idea just to do all my play sessions with live streams. Going to do RCW tomorrow, by the way. Okay, so the Aces won 6-3. Let's play out all the other games. 2-1, 6-1, a lot of ones. 7-4, Dead Ballers. 8-3, Ironmen over the Spitfires. So the highlights today, the dead ballers in that 7-4 win had 16 hits. Tim Keefe, a shutout with 8 Ks and 2 walks. And Clayton Kershaw, 2 hits, an earned run, and 13 Ks for the Futurists. So let's go to the 19th, but before I do, let me just mark the game I'm going to do, and I'll talk to you all for a little bit. Oh, Perry against White would be a good game. But I already did Explorers Pioneers, so let's move on from that. That would be a 625 game, if my math is right. 696 would be the Futurists. Steve Carlton against Roy Halladay. That would not be a bad game. So let me just check the chat. Just say hello to everybody. Oh, there's a little bit of latency going on, I see, but that's fine. Still got Yogi Berra going at it. And I got my Google Gemini up. Okay. So back with you again. 7:31 now on this Wednesday afternoon or evening. Rays are about to play the White Sox. I haven't been watching the Rays too much because the Rays were carried by, first it was Fox Sports Sun, and then it was Bally Sports, then it was FanDuel last year, and now they're trying to extort me out of $99 to get the whole season's game. And now MLB.TV runs the package. And I have the MLB TV package with T-Mobile, and I would just watch all the other games. There are a few games that will be airing during the season on Orlando television, either on the NBC station Channel 2, WESH, or Channel 18, which is the CW station here. But $100 is just too much of an investment for me. Says the guy that gets all of these Actions PC sports games and keeps up with that. But no, seriously. Baseball is going to run into a serious problem one of these days. And some of the other sports too, but maybe not as soon. Football, with all of these streams, nobody can see the games without having to pay an arm and a leg. And I figure the time for my stand is right now. You want to watch the NBC Sunday night game, you might need Peacock. If you want to watch ESPN, you might want to get ESPN Plus. And with that, you could probably get the Major League package. You want to watch a good fight, watch, you got Netflix, you got The Zone, and you got some other things that you would need to stream. I just remember when you could pay for it all with your cable bill. Okay, so holiday is going to start for the Futurists. Tomey's got a lousy batting average in the game for the Spirits. If you wonder why they are the last place team, his OPS is 523, so I'm going to fix that. Even though I shouldn't fix that. And we're going to put Richie Ashburn in and put him in the 9 hole. Stargell. Trent should be ahead of bench. Yeah, that looks good. And Joe Morgan is hitting under 200 for the Spirits, but he's got like 26 stolen bases, so I keep him in.
Pitching for Futurists, Roy Halladay.
Okay, last game, and then we'll call it a live stream. It goes so good to do this again. Joe Morgan leading off. Yeah, he's hitting 177. And you wonder why the Spirits aren't doing well. The Spirits are not flowing. Think of that Bee Gees song from like 1980 or so. First out, and here's Manny. Hanley Ramirez. Hanley with single. No, an error on Holiday there. Freddie Lynn, 230. Everybody moved up a base on that single, and here's Dick Allen. I also called him Richie Allen. 2 outs now for Pops, Willie Stargell. He have 11 home runs. And it's going to the wall. That's going to plate at least 1. Lynn comes in. It's 2. 14th double for Willie. Mike Schmidt also not doing well. And you wonder why the Spirits aren't doing well. They have some poor hitters. Pop up to left center for Trout.
2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Spirits 2. Futurists coming to bat.
So Steve Carlton is the pitcher.
Steve Carlton.
5 and 6 with a 3.21 ERA. Not doing too poorly. Joe Mauer up 296. Great hitting catcher for the Minnesota Twins. Mike Trout 339. He's been playing well. Allen's not going to be able to get to that. I was telling you about that 1974 game I saw. There's like a 10-minute snippet of, and Allen is playing for the Angels at that point. So Trout is out, and now Pujols. Got some great hitters on this Futurist team. And speak of the devil, there's one for Pujols, number 16 on the year. 47 ribbies. Barry Bonds has actually not been his, exemplar offense itself. 39 walks, 281. He's not creaming it out of the park. But he's not playing in San Francisco. He's playing in Baltimore at Camden Yards. Error there gets Bonds aboard. Bench is a 9-arm, so I'm going to respect that and just have A-Rod bat. Safe is the call. They'll hold Bonds at first. A-Rod launches this one, but Stargell will get to that, and the side's going to be retired.
1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Spirits 2, Futurists 1.
On this night in Camden Yards, June 19th, at 79 degrees, light rain, 5-mile-an-hour wind in from left. Bench up, 243. Foul. Got Miggy Cabrera playing third, the last Triple Crown winner. Reggie, the straw that stirs the drink, 209. Another K for Holiday. That's 3 for him. He can only go 115, so we'll have to watch him closely as we get to the middle innings. Ashburn, Rodriguez to Pujols.
Nothing across in the top of the second. Spirits 2, Futurists 1.
So here's Miggy. 323. And that's a walk. Miggy not a threat to run. Poor runner. Sammy Sosa up. Who at one point in his career was a good runner. That's another walk. That is 2 for Carlton. Prince Fielder up. Skied it. Morgan. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Alfonso Soriano. Good hitting second baseman. Everybody moves up a base on that hit. Back to the top of the order and Joe Mauer. Double play.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Spirits 2, Futurists 1.
See, yep, nothing new. Nothing new on the chat front. And here's Joe Morgan. Batting in the Spirit third. Another K. He's down to 176, but he's got that 26 stolen bases. So when he gets on, he's a threat to steal. Got a license to steal, I guess you could say. That's a base hit for Hanley Ramirez. Freddie Lynn, 1 for 1. Skied to right. Sosa will get to that play. And Ramirez. Keep him honest. Dick Allen. Side
No
retired.
runs, 1 hit, no errors. Spirits 2, Futurists 1.
So that brings up Mike Trout. Ball 4. Another walk for Carlton, who's really blowing through all of his bullets. He's at 53. He can go 125. Pujols skies this to left, and Stargell will get to it, though. 1 out now for Barry. Allen, we have to put out. I haven't seen box scores from the basement yet for this Tuesday past. So I'm probably going to watch that for most of the evening when we're done with this stream. And here is A-Rod 0 for 1. Ball 4. So it's runners at first and second now for Miguel Cabrera. And his .323 batting clip. Hit well to center. Lynn's going to watch it go. 3-run homer for Miggy to make it 4-2 in favor of the Futurists. Carlton not having a good day so far. 4 runs, all earned. 4 walks given. Here's Sammy. That's a walk. Prince Fielder. He's on. The noose closing in on Steve Carlton. If he gives up another run, he might be getting the hook. Here is Soriano. But nope, they're going to get out. They're going to get out of the third.
1 hit, no errors. Futurists 4, Spirits 2.
Wind is now 10 mile an hour. Light rain at the Camden Yards. Here's Stargell. Cabrera. 1 out. Schmitty, base hit to left. Bringing up Johnny Bench with the Spirits 2 behind. Pickoff play at first does not net an out. That's going to be a base hit to left center. So Johnny Bench, 246 hitter now. Here's Reggie. Hit to right. Sosa charging, makes the play. 2 outs now for Richie Putt-Putt Ashburn. 10 for 30. That's a base hit. That's going to be a run, I think. Yep, 4-3. And we go back to Joe Morgan. Soriano to Pujols to retire the side.
Hits, no errors. Futurists 4, Spirits 3.
So, a bit of a busy game so far. Back to the top of the order for the Futurists and Joe Mauer. Allen, we have to put out, 1 gone. Mike Trout. That's a K. And Albert, who had the homer earlier, has a base hit here. 2 for 3 day. Barry Bonds, 283. And
No
Allen
runs,
with the
1
solo
hit,
play at
no
first
errors.
base.
Futurists 4, Spirits 3.
Okay. Nothing new in terms of the chat. But this is a test, and this is only a test, as you just saw the stream as I am seeing it a few seconds behind. 5th inning now, and Hanley. 1 for 2. Base hit. 63%. Steal rate. Keep him honest. Freddie Lynn. Base hit to center. So the Spirits with something going in the 5th. for Dick Allen. That's a K. K number 5 for Holiday. He's given up 8 hits, though. He's at 77. Can only go 115. Oh, line drive right to Pujols. Bring up Schmitty. And we have a rain delay. Check your pitches. The rain delay was 20 minutes. Carlton is strong. Halliday is okay. We'll see if we can get out of the 5th inning and then go to relief.
No
You get out.
2 hits, no errors. Futurists 4, Spirits 3.
Now Carlton is now tired because of the 20-minute delay, bringing the estimated pitch count up 20. So Carlton is tired. Maybe we could get some hits off of him here. We'll start with A-Rod. Okay. Cabrera. A walk. Thinking they're going to give Carlton the hook here soon. Sammy Sosa. Sky to left. I think you could wave goodbye to this one. Home run for Sammy Sosa. It's 6-3. Now they got to pull Carlton for sure, I think. Yep, Andy Messersmith's going to come in.
Pitching for Spirits, Andy Messersmith.
He of the 5.52 ERA, 14 and 2/3 innings pitched. His whip is 1.432. Once wore a jersey for the Atlanta Braves, and instead of Messersmith and the number 17 being on there, it read Channel 17 back in the first few days of WTCG, which became WTBS, as Soriano just doubled. I take that back. It's Prince Fielder that just doubled. Morgan line drive catch there for the out. 2 outs now for Mauer. Schmidt, Allen, side retired.
2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Futurists 6, Spirits 3.
I'm going to make a change here in terms of pitching. We're going to take Halliday out. Okay, I got Hamels and I got Santana. I'm going to put Santana in because he's the best against righties, too, at 236.
Yuan, Santana.
So we'll just change the pitching arm. Here's bench. Santana to Pujols. Santana threw that no-hitter for the Mets, the first ever in Mets history. I think it's still the only one. But his career is pretty much finito, because I think he went like more than 130 pitches in that complete game, and it just wrecked his arm. Pujols, Santana, second out. Richie Ashburn, 1 for 2. Sosa's charging, makes the put out.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Futurists 6, Spirits 3.
Okay, Mike Trout up, 0 for 2. Messersmith. Oh, Allen could not grant that, and that's an error for Allen. I'm thinking they gave it to Allen. Pujols had the home run earlier. Base hit. Holding Trout at second, and Albert has his 3rd hit of the day. His average is up to 321. We go to Berry. Goes to the right side. No throw to first. They just get the force at second. Runners at the corners for A-Rod, who's not going to bunt. That's Sky to Lynn. Trout's going to tag up. He's out at home. Double play.
1 error. Futurists 6, Spirits 3.
Okay, we're still dormant in Chatland. Joe Morgan is 0 for 3. 175. Rodriguez to Pujols for the first out of the 7th. Hanley, 2 for 3. Out for Cabrera. Soft line drive. Here's Freddie Lynn.
No
That's
runs,
an out.
no hits, no errors. Futurists 6, Spirits 3.
So just a couple more innings to do here. Cabrera. Schmidt with the play to bring up Sosa in right. He's Cade and Prince Fielder. Morgan to Allen for that out.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Futurists 6, Spirits 3.
So Carlton and Holiday, both their days done. It's a battle of relievers now. Santana. By the way, he's at 421 now. 1-2 record. 36 in an innings pitched. 36 and a third. Allen. Skies it to left, and that will go. A home run for Dickey, number 12. RBI number 35, and it's 6-4. K for Willie Stargell. And Schmidt is going to make it 6-5 as he has a towering fly ball. Almost gets to the second deck. And just like that, it's 6-5. Johnny Bench up. We're tied. Well, my gracious. 3 home runs given up by Santana in this inning, and he's only gotten 1 out. So there's only one thing to do. Get the hook. I don't want to bring Mariano in yet. We'll go with Cole Hamels.
Pitching for Futurists, Cole Hamels.
And he's got Reggie Jackson, lefty-lefty. And Reggie has hit 1 out. You believe this? 4th homer of the inning. And it's 7-6. Spirits. And we need to check the box score here, because how many home runs have been back-to-back? Okay, a homer by Allen. A K for Willie Stargell, then 3 straight home runs. So 4 in this inning. As the bats have woken up for the Spirits. And now Ashburn looking to make it 4 in a row. No. Soriano to Pujols, out number 2. Joe Morgan to Sosa on a base hit. We got to keep him honest. Pitch out. Nothing going.
4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Spirits 7, Futurists 6.
What an inning for the Spirits. 4 runs, all home runs. It was pretty wild. So now the Futurists have to try to get a run manufactured here. Here's Soriano. Ramirez to Allen, first out. And I can't bring Mariano in unless we either tie it or take the lead. Joe Mauer. That's skied to right center, and that is off the wall. He's in with a double. Pinch runner time. Just first, let me make sure I have a catcher. Okay. Do I have a catcher? Let's just see if we do. Yes, I got Buster Posey, so we can pinch run for Mauer. Bring in Ichiro Suzuki.
Suzuki is the new runner at second.
Mike Trout, the new hitter for the Futurists. This turned out to be quite a game. That's a K, and Trout now has 3 Ks in the game. Pujols the last chance in the 8th. Schmidt, Allen, side retired.
4 runs, 1 hit, no errors. Spirits 7, Futurists 6.
Okay, and Buster Posey. Hope he don't get hurt because we don't have any other catchers. He will come in and play in the 1 spot, bat in the 1 spot. Hamels now looking at Freddie Lynn. That's hit well to center, but Trout gets to that. Dick Allen, who got the party started in the eighth with the home run. And then Schmidt bench and Reggie Jackson followed. That's a K. Here is Stargell, who K'd in that tumultuous eighth inning. And Sosa will get to that. Bruce Suter's going to come in and close it.
Nothing across in the top of the ninth. Spirits 7, Futurists 6.
This is not really a
Pitching
relief
for
pitcher's
Spirits,
lead.
Bruce.
I'm
Sutter.
sorry, Dave. Continue. 522, 2 and 4, 2 saves. Can't be got to. His whip is 1.364. It would be 1.069. Now, Barry Bonds can tie it with just one swing, but he strikes out. A-Rod, likewise. He strikes out. Can Suter strike out the side? He cannot. And Stargell's going to make the play just in front of the warning track, and the Spirits pull it out. 7-6.
The final score from Camden Yards, Spirits 7, Futurists 6. Andy Messersmith is the winner. He is now 1-0. Cole Hamels is the loser. He is now 1-1. Bruce Sutter gets the save. Number 3. Johnny Bench hit home run number 6 on the season. Mike Schmidt hit number 15. Dick Allen hit number 12. Reggie Jackson hit number 11. Albert Pujols hit number 16. Miguel Cabrera hit number 3. Sammy Sosa hit number 6. Time of the game, 3 hours, 35 minutes.
So that was 7 home runs, and 4 of them were in the top of the 8th. Just goes to show you, you cannot predict baseball, no matter how often you try. So with the Spirits beating the Futures 7-6, let's go and see what happened in other games. The Sultans leading by a half game in Group A. Group B, I beg your pardon. So let's just see what happened in the other games before we close. Pioneers 18 hits in a 14-4 win. Pioneers, Gonzalez had 3 hits, 6 RBIs, and a homer. So the Wings lead Group A 40-27. They're 2 ahead of the Pioneers, 4 ahead of the Explorers. The Sultans by 1 over the Futurists. That 7-6 win's going to haunt them. And the Spitfires are 2 back. The wildcard teams would be the Pioneers and the Futurists right now. But a lot to play for. 67 games, so there's 87 games left, and we're nearing the halfway point of this season. So let me come on as dusk is upon us here in Central Florida. I'll check the chat one more time, see if anybody has tuned in. Nope. So, thank you for watching this first live stream we have done in somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 years. And probably going to do a few more if the test was successful, as I think it was. So this is Big Paulie coming to you. I will leave the recording on, so this is kind of a trick I learned doing slides at church. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing slides at church, but we'll see. Political issues with that. But we will see, and I will leave the stream on until I see the stream has caught up, so you don't get cut off. Godspeed and God bless everybody. We might be doing live streams again real soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody. I'm just going to show the logo and turn my mic off.